everyone, Corey from CoreyReviews here to do a quick video which is a little bit different. I'm going to be answering a few questions from this movie tag kind of video thing that's been going on throughout the movie community. Basically how it works is that there's already a set list of questions that, when someone tags you, there's a full list of questions to answer from. And once you're tagged and you make your video, then you add an extra question on the list of questions that was sent to you. So there's 21 questions that were sent to me, and I'm going to add a 22nd question. And at the end of this video, I will tag 3 separate people to continue on this movie tag challenge. Alright, so question number 1 is, what is your favorite movie of all time? If you've been following me for long enough, you know that my favorite movie of all time is Titanic. That's the movie that got me into movies. When I saw it back in theaters in '97, I was just absolutely blown away by it. I had no idea what it was going to be about. My mom just said, oh, it's about some ship that sinks. And I was like, okay, this gives me nothing. But I went to go see the movie and I loved it. And from December of 1997 up until now, it's still my favorite movie of all time. Second question is, what is your favorite scene from your favorite movie of all time? Easily my favorite scene from that movie is the ending. I just think the ending is just perfection. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest scenes in cinematic history. I just love the ending to Titanic. It's just one of the greatest endings of all time. I know it's kind of cliche to pick the ending of the film, but still, that's personally my favorite scene from the entire film. Number 3 is, who is your favorite actor and actress? Again, if you've been following me for long enough, you know who my favorite actor and actress are. My favorite actor of all time is easily Leonardo DiCaprio. Everything that guy does is just perfect. I mean, like, seriously, he does not make a bad movie, and it is such an utter shame that the guy still has not won an Oscar. I don't know what the voters are thinking. And my favorite actress of all time, hands down, goes to Kristen Stewart. I know I am in the minority in that one, but still, she's my personal favorite actress of all time. I've been a fan of hers since I was 10 years old. I'm 22 now, so I mean, it's been a little while. But yeah, when I first saw her in Panic Room, not only did I instantly like her as an actress, I was also instantly attracted to her as well. Still to this day, I mean, Kristen Stewart's the one actress that anytime she comes out with a new movie, I get like really excited about seeing that film. Like when Amy Adams or Meryl Streep or Jessica Chastain or Anne Hathaway or a lot of my other favorite actresses come out with a movie, I'm interested in seeing it. But when Kristen Stewart comes out with a movie, I'm there day one. I gotta see it. So yeah, hands down, my favorite actress all time, Kristen Stewart. Number 4 is, who to you are the most annoying actor or actress out there in Hollywood nowadays? I don't really have a lot of people that I'm kind of like really annoyed by. I can't really think of many off the top of my head. But a few that kind of come to mind, one is Ava Longoria, I think is how you pronounce her name. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of hers. I don't think that she's awful by any means, but everything that she's been in, I haven't really been fond of, if you will. I just don't really see what all the fuss is about as her as an actress. Maybe she'll come out with a movie one day that will blow my mind, but just at the moment right now, with the whole Desperate Housewives thing, I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of hers at the moment at least, but I hope that at some point I see why everyone else likes her. And the most annoying actor to me right now, not so much that I dislike him, but just kind of his movie choices, is Eddie Murphy. I mean, recently he came out with Tower Heist, but man, I mean, the guy has come out with so many just bad movies. I mean, especially Norbit, which to me is the worst movie of all time, in my personal opinion. That he keeps doing like these awful like kid movies or just awful comedies that he tries to call a comedy. He just really needs to kind of come out and reinvent his career. Number 5 is your favorite director of all time. Now, this is very difficult because I've been trying to make a top 10 directors list for the longest time, and I still can't make a top 10 directors list because I have 3 choices that kind of like stand out that I just really like, but I can't really decide how to place them. My personal 3 favorite directors are Richard Kelly, who directed Donnie Darko, Southland Tales, and The Box. I think he is just such an underrated director. I think he's awesome. Paul Thomas Anderson to me is probably my number 1, but still I like these other directors as well. And my 3rd personal favorite director, I know again I am in the extreme minority on this, is M. Night Shyamalan, just because he is the director that made me want to direct. When I first saw The Sixth Sense, that movie was so freaking inspirational to me. I saw that movie, I was like, I want to write and I want to direct. I want to make movies that make people think. I want to make movies that, when I was in The Sixth Sense and I saw how everybody was reacting to the movie, I was like, I want to make movies like that. So M. Night Shyamalan, plus I mean The Village, one of my personal favorite movies, Unbreakable, Signs, another one of my personal favorite movies, The Sixth Sense, and also his 3 past movies, which I personally kind of enjoyed for what they were. I personally really like M. Night. Number 6 is, what is your favorite guilty pleasure film? Now, I don't really like the term guilty pleasure because I don't really feel guilty for liking anything. I like what I like and I dislike what I dislike. But one that really comes to mind that I remember talking about a lot last year was Judy Moody in The Not Bummer Summer. I think a big reason why I ended up liking that movie as much as I did was because I went to go see Super 8 right before Judy Moody, and I really personally, I really disliked Super 8. I just did not find that movie entertaining or just good at all. I wanted to like Super 8, but after the whole train crash sequence, the movie went downhill. But yeah, I went to go see Judy Moody right afterwards, and I just personally really enjoyed it. It's just kind of like a movie that just reminds me of being a kid again. It's kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but with like a female lead or something like that. You know, it's just, personally, I found it to be a lot of fun. And again, any movie that can make me feel like a kid again, I just really enjoy. Favorite tearjerker to me is my favorite movie of all time, Titanic. It's really the only movie that I could watch, 200 times and still kind of tear up in it. The final act of that movie just has so many scenes that just kind of make you kind of look away, do one of these and kind of look back. Titanic is really one of the only movies that can make me tear up. Also, a movie that also makes me kind of tear up is this movie called Radio that has Cuba Gooding Jr. and Ed Harris. That movie has some pretty good tear-jerking scenes as well. Number 8 is a character from a movie that scared you the most. When I was a little kid, I was really scared by, I guess, the Scream mask guy, because Scream was the first movie I had ever seen in theaters. I think that came out, I believe, like in 1996 or something like that. And I just remember hiding like in between the seats, and like I couldn't even watch because I was so scared. And also another movie character that really creeped me out, the man with the bag over his face in the movie The Strangers that has Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. There's a scene in the trailer alone where Liv Tyler is standing in her kitchen, kind of staring off and doing whatever, and the guy kind of just walks into the living room and just kind of like stares at her, and then she turns back around and he's gone. That whole movie is seriously one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen. Also, another one I have to point out is the Mothman from the Mothman Prophecies. Oh my gosh, that movie. When Richard Gere's character is on the phone and he's like, what do I have in my hand? And you hear the voice, it goes, chapstick. Oh man, it's giving me chills right now. That the Mothman Prophecies as well, very creepy film. Number 9 is a movie that you love that everyone else hates. A movie that just recently came out, 2012, one of my personal favorite films of last year. Probably to me one of the most kind of inspirational movies that made me want to go out and direct a movie of last year. But also one of the only kind of thought-provoking films of last year as well, Silent House, with Elizabeth Olsen. I personally love this movie from beginning to end. When I first saw this movie in theaters, I actually didn't like it, but I went to go see it again a few days later in theaters as well, and I barely ever see a movie twice in theaters, so that says a lot right there. And so I went to go see it again in theaters, and it was like a complete 180. I just loved it. I walked out going like, oh my gosh, my favorite movie of the year. And I think in my top 10 of 2012, it was like number 5, so it still stayed up there in my top 5. And I don't really get why a lot of people dislike it. I think it's a great psychological thriller, and Elizabeth Olsen is amazing in that movie. To me, it's just a really great standout performance. I love Silent House. I've seen it like, I think, 4 or 5 times on Blu-ray already. It's a movie I personally can't get enough of. Number 10 is a movie that you hate that everyone else loves. Now I'm going to pick 2 movies that I don't really hate, just movies that I just wasn't really fond of, that I didn't really care for that much. One of those movies is Super 8. To me, I just thought it felt too much like a Cloverfield ripoff in the 70s. I just did not like it at all. And the other one being just the completely overrated, boring as hell, The Help. I'm sorry, I did not like The Help. I can never watch that movie again. I love Emma Stone. I love Jessica Chastain. I love Bryce Dallas Howard. But gosh, that movie, I mean, when I'm looking at my watch like multiple times during a movie, like, when is this movie going to end so I could go home? That's not good. A lot of people love Super 8. The Help won many awards. I know people loved it, but personally, I just did not like those movies. Favorite movie duo? At the moment, just one that I really want to see back on screen together again is Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Step Brothers is one of my favorite comedies of all time. And I really hope that they decide to do a Step Brothers 2 very soon. Maybe, hopefully, after Anchorman 2, they'll do a Step Brothers sequel. And actually, Step Brothers is the one movie that I've actually watched most on Blu-ray. Out of all my movies, Step Brothers is the one movie that I've watched most in my collection. Another one that's obviously amazing that I cannot leave out is Jay and Silent Bob. How can you go wrong with Jay and Silent Bob? I mean, seriously. Favorite animated movie? Recently, I just watched this movie again. Not only did it quickly become my favorite animated film, but also my favorite Pixar film, and that is Monsters, Inc. I just love this movie from beginning to end, especially the final scene is just so heartwarming, and I cannot wait for Monsters University. But the one thing that is kind of sad that might not be in Monsters University is Boo, the little female character. That is just such a really funny and cute character. But yeah, Monsters Inc. right now is probably my personal favorite. Number 13 is your actor-actress crush. Hands down, is Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart to me is like in just another league of her own. I mean, she is like in the heavens of the hottest woman of all time. There's like Kristen Stewart all the way up here in the clouds and the heavens, hanging out with Jesus. And then like every other girl on earth is like down here. Is Kristen Stewart all the way up here and just doing her own thing, hottest girl of all time, other girls down here, my personal opinion. Number 14 is who is your favorite movie villain? Hands down, Heath Ledger as the Joker. Not only my favorite movie villain of all time, my favorite comic book villain of all time, but it's personally my favorite male performance that I've ever seen. That performance is just in a league of its own. Heath Ledger deserved that Oscar that he got. Hands down, Heath Ledger as the Joker, the best. Number 15 is what movie surprised you the most? Personally, a movie that really surprised me when I was younger was Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I remember seeing that movie not too long post 9/11, and I was kind of like too afraid to leave the house. My friend and his dad kind of drugged me to go see the movie. I didn't want to go see it at all. I didn't know anything about it. My mom said, "Oh, you're probably going to enjoy it. It should be pretty good." And I was just like, "No, I don't want to see this," but I wanted to go see it. And like from just the opening frame, Lord of the Rings, the title pops up, and I was just like instantly glued to the screen. And now, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is right behind Titanic as my favorite movies of all time. Still to this day, the one movie that really just surprised me more than anything was Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Number 16 is like, what is the one movie that you would keep in your collection out of everything? It would be my personal favorite movie of all time, Titanic. I have a really cool Amazon exclusive Blu-ray set for it, so even better. But yeah, that's definitely the one movie I would keep. Number 17 is what is a movie recommendation and for whom? I kind of really recommend this movie for everyone. I just watched this the other night and I thought it was just such a great film. It's called Your Sister's Sister and it has Mark Duplass, Rosemary DeWitt, and Emily Blunt. I just thought it was a really great and very honest and raw romantic dramedy. It's about a guy who loses his brother recently and he's kind of best friends with his brother's ex. And he goes to this cabin to kind of just free his mind. Emily Blunt's character sends him there, who's his brother's ex, and he runs across Rosemary DeWitt's character, who's Emily Blunt's sister in the movie, and they kind of hit it off in the cabin. And then Emily Blunt's character comes back to the cabin, and then the kind of this love triangle goes on. But then there's like secrets and real kind of raw emotions start to come out when the three of them kind of meet together in this cabin. And it's just such a great movie. It's one that I highly recommend to anyone. Check this movie out. Seek it out. It's 2 thumbs up in my book. Number 18 is if you could go back in time and marry one actor or actress that is older now, who would that be? An actress that's not really old, but just older than me that I would easily go back and marry in a heartbeat is Diane Lane. Oh my gosh, Diane Lane is one of the hottest women on earth. If any of you have seen Unfaithful, you know what I'm talking about. Diane Lane is a complete 10 out of 10. So yeah, if I had to go back in time and marry one actress who's older than I am, it would easily be Diane Lane. Number 19 is one remake that you wish would have never been made. Right now I'm kind of thinking of one that it's not so much I wish would have never been made. I wish it would have been made a little bit differently to be better. Was the Total Recall remake. And the reason being is because I saw Total Recall, the remake, first before I saw the original film. So I saw the remake and I thought, it was pretty decent. It was pretty fun for what it was. And then I saw the original film and I was blown away. And I'm like, why does the remake just suck in comparison to the original film? I personally, I really like the cast of the remake. It's a great cast, a good director on board, and some really awesome visual effects and directing by Lynn Wiseman. But it's just, I just wish it had a better script, personally. I think that with a better script, it would have been a really solid remake, and it's just one, I wish that they would have gone back, really refined that script, and made a really proper sequel to an awesome original film. Number 20 is, if you're about to die, which movie would you watch one last time? Kind of your one last movie you watch on your deathbed, if you will. And it would easily be Titanic. I mean, just obviously, if you're going to die, you want to watch one last movie for the last time, it's going to be your favorite movie of all time. You got to watch your favorite movie of all time one last time. It's just, that's the easy, obvious answer for that one. Number 21 is what is your favorite movie genre and your favorite movie in that genre. My personal favorite movie genre, I don't even know if it's considered a genre or not, but it's the one that I kind of just really enjoy the most. It's kind of just psychological movies. Not so much psychological thrillers, but movies that just really make you think and that you have to go back and watch again and again because they're so thought-provoking. And you have to kind of go back and you put the pieces together and just figure the entire movie out. And my personal favorite movie like that is Donnie Darko. It's one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 5 movies of all time. If you have not seen Donnie Darko, you have to see this movie. There's a theatrical cut and a director's cut. and they're both equally as great in my opinion. But yeah, do yourself a favor if you have not seen Donnie Darko. Go out and just buy this movie. It's so good. If you love movies that make you think, you got to see this one. And the one question that I'm putting in at question number 22 is a question that I haven't seen a lot of people ask is, what movie have you seen most in theaters? And personally, as I get older, I don't see a lot of movies more than once in theaters, but when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of movies multiple times. I would go to the theater every weekend and watch multiple movies multiple times. And the one that I've seen the most personally is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And like all the other Harry Potter movies, I saw a lot of the earlier Harry Potter movies like 5, 6, 7 times in theaters, somewhere around that. But Chamber of Secrets I saw 23 times in theaters. When I was younger, I was just addicted to Harry Potter, and I just went to go see Chamber of Secrets in theaters every single weekend. And when it was at the Dollar Theater that I actually work at right now, when I was younger, I would just go see it like 4 times in a row that day. And just, the next weekend I would go see it 4 more times. The week after that, I'd go see it 4 more times. And I would just stay at the Dollar Theater, and they would have, I remember they had dollar hot dogs, and the guy at the concession stand would always give me free refills on my large Coke. And it was just a lot of fun. So yeah, Chamber of Secrets is the movie I saw the most times in theaters, 23 times. I'm a little crazy. Alright, so those are the questions, and those were my answers. These 3 that I'm going to tag are 3 buddies of mine that I would like to see continue on this movie tag challenge. The first one being the Clay Singer, the second one being the Game 867J, and the third one being Air Guitar 1982. Those are the 3 people that I tag. I'll have their links down below. Definitely go subscribe to them. And also I have to thank FilmAngel11, who was the person that tagged me to actually make this video. I'm glad she picked me out of one of the people to continue on this movie tag challenge. And I haven't done a Q&A video like this in a while, so it's kind of nice to be able to do one of these type of videos again. So also definitely go subscribe to FilmAngel11 and the 3 people that I tagged, the Clay Singer, the Game 867J, and Air Guitar 1982. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and until next time, Corey from CoreyReviews. See y'all later.